My name is Scanwan and I play both the piano and the violin. I aspire someday be a doctor and my favorite subject is calculus. My mom and dad are Tiger's parents who won't let me go to sleepovers, but they make up for it by serving me my favorite meal every day, single day, rice. And I'm a little bad driver. So my question for you now is how long did it take you to figure out I was joking? As you probably guessed, today I'm going to talk about race, and I start off by sharing my story of growing up Asian American. I moved to the United States when I'm 2 years old, so almost my entire life has been a blend of two countries. I eat pasta with chopsticks, I addicted to orange chicken, and my childhood hero was Yao Ming. But having grown up in North Dakota, South Dakota, and Idaho, all states with incredibly little races, it was difficult to reconcile my so-called exotic Chinese heritage with my mainstream American South. Used to be the only Asians in the room, I was self-conscious that the first thing people noticed about me was that I wasn't white. And as a child, I quickly began to realize that I had two options in front of me: conform to the stereotype that was expected of me or conformed to the whiteness that surrounded me. There was no in between. For me, this meant that I always feel self-conscious about good at math because people would say it was because I'm Asian, not because I actually work hard. It meant that whenever a boy asked me out, it was because he has a yellow fever and not because he actually liked me. It meant that for the longest time, my identity had formed around the fact that I was different, and I thought that being Asian was the only special thing about me. These effects were emphasized by the places where I lived. Don't get me wrong, only a small percentage of people were actually racist or even borderline racist, but the vast majority were just a little bit clueless. Now, I know you're probably thinking, what's the difference? Well, here's an example. Not racist can sound like I'm white and you're not. Racist can sound like I'm white, you're not, and that makes me better than you. But clueless sounds like I'm white, you're not, and I don't know how to deal with that. Now, I don't doubt for a second that these clueless people are still nice individuals with great intentions, but they do ask some questions that become pretty annoying after a while. Here are a few examples. You're Chinese? Oh my goodness, I have a Chinese friend. Do you know him? No. I don't know him because contrary to your unrealistic expectation, I do not know every single one of the 1.35 billion Chinese people who live on planet Earth. People also tend to ask, where does your name come from? And I really don't know how to answer that. So I really stick with the truth. My parents gave it to me. Where does your name come from? Don't even get me started of how many times people have confused me with a different Asian person. One time someone came up to me and said, Angie, I love your artwork. I was super confused, so I just thanked them and walked away. But out of all questions, my favorite one is still the classic, where are you from? Because I lived in quite few places, so this is how the conversation usually goes. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from Boise, Idaho. I see, but where are you really from? I mean, I live in South Dakota for a while. Okay, what about before that? I mean, I live in North Dakota. Okay, I'm just going to cut straight to the chase here. I guess what I'm saying is, have you ever lived in any far away from here where people talk a little differently?